For more updates, subscribe to our channel.
హలో వెల్కమ్ టు మై డ్రీమ్స్ అకాడమీ. సో మనం ఈ వీడియోలో టిఎస్ ట్రాన్స్కో ఏఈ పేపర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ చూద్దాం. సో యాజ్ ఏ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఏఈ సిరీస్ ఆల్రెడీ వీ హ్యావ్ డన్ టిఎస్ ఎన్పిడిసిఎల్ 2018 పేపర్. If you want to see that video, open My Dreams Academy YouTube channel. There you will get one playlist for TS NPDCL AE examination, and also for more videos please do subscribe to My Dreams Academy YouTube channel. And there is a app for us, that is My Dreams Academy app. You go to Play Store, Google Play Store, there you can download our app now. So TS Transco, for every video we'll do 10 questions. In this video I am going to do 1 to 10 questions, then after 11 to 20 questions, like that. Every video contain 10 questions with a neat explanation. Okay, please do subscribe and like to our channel. Now the first question is integration over z plus 1 is equals to 2 z square divided by 4 minus z square dz. This question is from mathematics and the topic name is complex variables. First, in order to solve this question we need to concentrate on this term, that is mod z plus 1 is equals to 2. The meaning of this one is it represents the circle and center and radius of the circle. This is z minus z naught is equals to r, where z naught is the center of the circle, r is the radius of the circle. So observe these two. The center of the circle is minus 1 comma j0, minus 1 comma 0, and the radius of the circle is 2. Radius of the circle is 2. Draw a circle by using this information. This is the complex plane, real axis, imaginary axis. So the center of the circle is minus 1 comma j0, here minus 1 comma 0. Radius of the circle is 2. Okay, so radius of the circle minus 1, 0, plus 1. Next, left side minus 3, so the distance 2, here also the distance 2. So draw a circle with the center minus 1 comma 0 and the radius 2. Radius 2. The second step, first step is draw a circle. Next, second step, that is poles. Poles. Find a poles. How we can able to find a poles? By using denominator of a function. The denominator of the function is 4 minus z square. Make this is equals to 0. So z is equals to plus or minus 2. So we have a two poles, one pole at plus 2, another pole at minus 2. So indicate that poles in the complex plane. So z is equals to plus 2. Next one is z is equals to minus 2. One is at inside the circle, another pole is at outside the circle. Another pole is at outside the circle. Now we need to solve this question with this information. So we have a Cauchy's integral formula. Cauchy's integral formula is z minus z naught is equals to r f of z by z minus z naught into dz is equals to 2 pi I f of z naught. This is the Cauchy's integral formula. Now, so we have a two poles, one pole inside the circle, another pole is outside the circle. So outside the circle, the integration with this outside the circle will give 0. Okay, so if it is outside the circle, then we need to consider that function is also under f of z. Okay, so this one, I am writing this one like this. Observe, this is very very important. Take minus from this, so it will give minus integration z plus 1 is equals to 2. So z square divided by z square minus 4. I can able to write z square minus 4 like this, that is z plus 2 z minus 2 into dz. Z is equals to 2 is outside the circle, so we should not take this one as a pole. Okay, so we should make this as a function. Now observe this one and this one, f of z divided by z minus z naught, z square by z minus 2 divided by z plus 2. The function f of z is equals to z square z minus 2. ఓకే, ఏ పోల్ అయితే అవుట్ సైడ్ ద సర్కిల్ ఉంటుందో దాన్ని కూడా మనం ఫంక్షన్లో కలిపేయాలి. ఓకే, దాని యొక్క ఇంటిగ్రల్ కాచీస్ ఇంటిగ్రల్ ఫార్ములా 0 వస్తుంది. సో వీ నీడ్ టు యాడ్ దట్ టర్మ్ టు ద ఫంక్షన్. సో నౌ minus z plus 1 is equals to 2 z square divided by z minus 2 and z plus 2 dz. So substitute z is equals to minus 2 in the function. So minus, it will give integral formula 2 pi I f of z naught. F of z naught is nothing but you need to substitute z is equals to minus 2 in the function. So the function is this one, minus 2 whole square divided by minus 2 minus 2. Minus 2 whole square will give 4, minus 2 will give minus 4. So minus 2 pi I, 4 by minus 4, 4 will get cancelled, minus will get cancelled. So the option is 2 pi I. Option 2 is correct. Cauchy's integral formula is very very important, that is integral over circle with a radius r and center z naught, f of z by z minus z naught dz is equals to 2 pi I f of z naught. Okay, and one more thing, while indicating the poles, okay, you need to see the denominator function. If the pole is inside the circle, then you need to consider. If the pole is outside the circle, the Cauchy's integral formula for that one is 0. So you need to make that function to the actual function. Okay, actually the function is z square here, but the pole z is equals to 2 is outside the circle. So you need to add that z is equals to 2 is also for the function. Like that we need to solve this. Okay, and the next question, this question is from engineering mathematics, and the topic name is linear algebra, or we can say matrices. Which of the following is not an eigenvector of the matrix? Okay, this concept name is eigenvectors and eigenvalues. So this is the question. Matrix A is equals to 1 1 3 1 5 1 3 1 1. So we need to calculate eigenvalues for this one, then after eigenvectors corresponding to eigenvalues. Okay, so first we need to calculate eigenvalues. So eigenvalues will be calculated like this, that is a minus lambda I is equals to 0. This is nothing but characteristic equation. The roots of this characteristic equation are called as eigenvalues. The roots of this characteristic equation are called as eigenvalues. Okay. Now how to make this one, that is a minus lambda is a one function. So I is the identity matrix of same added to that of A. Okay. So where A is the square matrix of order 3 cross 3, I is also a square matrix, that to identity matrix of order 3 cross 3. Now 1 1 3, 1 5 1, 3 1 1 minus lambda into 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay. Then after we need to do determinant for this one in order to calculate lambda values. This is very lengthy procedure in order to calculate lambda values. Then after you need to go for eigenvectors. Okay, for every eigenvalue, if the eigenvalues are like this 1 2 3, for every eigenvalue we will get one eigenvector. It will take minimum 10 minutes to solve this question. Okay, but in the examination contains 100 questions, 120 minutes. Okay, you have to solve that question less than 1 minute. Maximum you need to take 2 minutes, not more than that. Okay, but it will take 10 minutes. Then how to solve this question? By observing the options. ఒకసారి అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి నాన్న, ఆప్షన్స్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే ఎవ్రీ ఆప్షన్ 1 0 minus 1 minus 3 0 3 3 0 minus 3 1 0 1. So first 3 options contain minus. The last option does not contain any minus star. So from these options I can expect my eigenvector will be like this, that is k0 minus k or minus k0 k. K is any number, any real number. So if the option satisfy any of this function or any of this vector, then that option is eigenvector of the given question. Otherwise it is not a eigenvector for the given question. So option 1 1 0 minus 1, it is satisfying the first one. Minus 3 0 3, it is satisfying the second one. 3 0 minus 3, it is satisfying the first one. 1 0 1, it is not satisfying first one as well as second one. So option 4 is correct. This is not a eigenvector for the given question. 1 0 1 is not a eigenvector for the given question. Next we are going to see third question. Third question is from Fourier transform. F of x is equals to x e to the power of 4x square. Observe this function, that is x e to the power of plus 4x square. This function is unbounded function. So Fourier transform does not exist for this one, does not exist for this one. So in the final key it is given that NA, that is no answer for this question. In place of plus 4, if we have minus 4, then this function is bounded function. We can able to calculate Fourier transform for this one. Okay na? We can able to calculate Fourier transform for this one, that is x into e to the power of minus 4x square. Okay na? Right. Now the Fourier transform of e to the power of minus 4x square, there is a one formula for us, that is Fourier transform of e to the power of minus a x square will give under root of pi by a e to the power of minus omega by a whole square. Okay, from this e to the power of minus 4x square, e to the power of minus 4x square, the Fourier transform of this one will give under root of pi divided by a is nothing but 4, under root of pi by 4 e to the power of minus omega by a value is 4, so 4 square, that is nothing but pi by root pi by 2 e to the power of minus omega square divided by 16. Now, but we have a x. If I multiply with x to the function, from the Fourier series properties, from the Fourier transform properties, Fourier transform of x into some function, it will give j d by d omega into f of x. Okay, if I multiply with x, I need to do the derivation. If I divide with x, I need to do the integration. Okay na? Yes. Now so apply this one, that is j, so pi by 2, root pi by 2 is the constant, d by d omega of this function, that is omega square divided by 16. Now j under root pi by 2, differentiation this one with respect to omega, so it will give e to the power of minus omega square divided by 16. So differentiation of this one, that is minus 2 omega divided by 16, 2 will get cancelled, so it will give minus j under root of pi by 16 omega e to the power of minus omega square by 16. Observe the option, this is 0, so wrong option. Under root of pi by 2, this is also wrong. Minus I under root of pi by 16 omega into e to the power of minus omega square by 16, so third option is correct. So we need to know the properties of Fourier transform in order to solve this question. If you don't know the properties of Fourier transform, you cannot able to solve this question. The property number 1 that is used in this question is Fourier transform of e to the power of minus ax square will give under root of pi by a e to the power of minus ax square or minus omega by a whole square, and Fourier transform of x into f of x, if you multiply x to the function, we need to do the differentiation. Okay, we need to do the differentiation. If I divide with x, we need to do the integration. So this is the answer for this question. Now we are going to see fourth question. Fourth question is, let x be a random variable that follows binomial distribution with expectation. So expectation is 7 and variance v of x is equals to 6. We need to calculate the probability of success. So first of all, success plus failure will give 1. Okay, the life also we can able to see. The life is all about successes and failures. Okay, so it will complete life. So success plus failure is equals to 1. Okay, now so expectation and variable. So variance is nothing but NPQ in the binomial distribution. NPQ is equals to 6, and expectation, that is n into p, which is equals to 7, where n is the number of variables and NPQ is equals to 6. From these two, NPQ divided by P, it will give Q, so is equals to 6 by 7. But we need to calculate probability of success, that is P. The probability of success P is equals to 1 minus Q, 1 minus 6 by 7, 1 by 7. The binomial distribution, probability of success and probability of failure is equals to 1, that is 100%. Okay. Now, expectation in the binomial distribution is n into P, which is equals to 7, and variance in the binomial distribution is equals to NPQ is equals to 6. In order to calculate Q, NPQ divided by NP, that is nothing but variance divided by expectation will give probability of failure. The probability of failure is 6 by 7, then the probability of success is 1 by 7. Now we are going to see question number 5. Now the question number 5. The question number 5 is all about the area of the region that lies inside the chordioid, that is R is equals to 1 plus cos theta, and outside the circle, that is R is equals to 1. Okay. So if we need to calculate the area between these two, first of all we need to draw the diagram. This is y axis, this is x axis. Okay. And this is 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270, 360 degrees. Okay na? Yes. First of all we will see about chordioid. మనం ఫస్ట్ chordioid గురించి చూద్దాం. టీటా వాల్యూ అనేది వ్యారీ అవుతుంటే కార్డియాయిడ్ అనేది ఎలా వ్యారీ అవుతుందో ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. ఓకేనా? రైట్. కార్డియాయిడ్ C, and the function for this one is R is equals to 1 plus cos theta. If the theta value is 0, 1 plus cos 0, it will give 2. If the theta value is equals to, let us consider 90 degrees. Cos 90 is 1, so it will give cos 90 is 0, so 1 plus 0, 1. Next, 180 degrees, cos 180 is minus 1, so it will give 1 minus 1, 0. So like that it will vary. Okay na? Now at theta is equals to 0, the magnitude is 2. Let us consider this one is 1 and this one is 2. Now here the theta value is varying from 0 to 360 degrees. The theta is varying from 0 to 360 degrees. So at theta is equals to 0, it start from magnitude 2 with the angle 0. Next one, at theta is equals to 90 degrees. So angle is 90 degrees, magnitude is 1. At this place. Next, theta is equals to 180 degrees, magnitude is 0. This is theta, which is equals to 180 degrees, and the magnitude is 0, like this. So in between 90 and 180, it will have some magnitude. If you consider that is also, let us consider 120 degrees, cos 120 degree, 1 plus cos 90 plus 30. Okay, so it will comes under second quadrant. In the second quadrant, cos is minus, so it will give how much? That is sin 30. Sin 30 value is 1 by 2. So 1 minus 1 by 2 will give 0.5. Okay na? At 120 degrees the value is 0.5. That to positive sign. Now, so it will vary like this. Next, similarly for 180 degrees to 360 degrees, it will be like this. దిస్ ఈజ్ కార్డియాడ్, ఇది కార్డియాడ్ నాన్న. ఓకేనా. నౌ we are going to see circle. Circle we know already. Circle center at 0, 0, the radius is 1. So let us consider this is -1. So it will be like this. This is the circle. But observe the question, we need to calculate the area. Which area? The area is inside the chordioid. This is total inside the chordioid, but outside the circle. So this is the area. We need to calculate that area. How we can able to calculate that area? Simply calculate the area of the chordioid and subtract area of the circle from that. Okay na? First calculate the area of the chordioid, then after subtract area of the circle from that. Okay na? Simple. Now how we can able to calculate area of the chordioid? Okay, so I am writing like this, that is, so area of the chordioid can be calculated like this, that is, okay, I am multiplying 2 because I am considering only angle from 0 to 180 degrees, 0 from 180 degrees. So 0 to pi, and r square, that is nothing but 1 plus cos theta whole square into d theta, right? Next, minus the area of the circle, that is from 0 to pi, r square, that is 1 only, so into d theta. If I wanted to write from 0 to pi by 2, okay, 0 to pi by 2, take 2 from this, okay, so it will give, so 2 and 1 by 2 will get cancelled, so that is 0 to pi by 2, 1 plus cos theta whole square d theta minus 0 to pi by 2 d theta, 1 plus cos theta whole square d theta minus 0 to pi by 2 d theta. If I further simplify this one, so 1 plus cos theta whole square, that is nothing but 1 plus cos square theta plus 2 cos theta, and this one we have a minus integration over 0 to pi by 2 into d theta. So minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled, the remaining terms is cos square theta plus 2 cos theta, integration over 0 to pi by 2 cos square theta plus integration over 0 to pi by 2 2 cos theta d theta. We know one formula, that is integration over 0 to pi by 2 cos n theta is equals to n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to so on pi by 2 if n is equals to even. If n is equals to odd, we need to write 1. Okay, but here n value is 2, so 2 is even, so apply that formula here, that is 2 1 into pi by 2, so it will give pi by 4 for this one. This integration will give pi by 4. Next, the integration of this one, 2 into integration of cos theta will give sin theta, and the limits are pi by 2 and 0. So sin pi by 2 will give 1 and sin 0 0. So 2 into 1. So the total value is pi by 4 plus 2. Total area inside the chordioid outside the circle is pi by 4 plus 2. So option 3 is correct. This is the question number 5. The sixth question, the coil with a certain number of turns has specified time constant. The time constant for coil T is equals to L by R. Okay. If the number of turns are doubled, its time constant would be. So we know L is equals to N square divided by reluctance. So inductance L is directly proportional to N square. Similarly, resistance R is directly proportional to N. If the number of turns increases, resistance value increases. So the time constant value is directly proportional to N square divided by N. N will get cancelled. So time constant tau is directly proportional to N. Now the question is, the coil with a certain number of turns has specified time constant. If the number of turns doubled, then time constant. Okay, so number of turns doubled means time constant also doubled. Time constant also doubled. Remains unaffected, wrong. Becomes double, correct answer. The remaining two also wrong. Now we are going to see question number 7. Seventh question, the instantaneous power of a balanced 3-phase load is 2000 watts. 2000 watts. Instantaneous power. This is very important. When phase A is its peak voltage, when phase A is at its peak voltage, what will be the instantaneous power 30 degrees later? Okay, in order to confuse you, they have given this concept. Okay, manani exam lo confuse cheyadam kosam maatrame ee point anedi mention chesindu. Actually, so the voltage value is like this, that is Vm sin omega. Let us consider some angle pi 1, and next I value Im sin omega t plus pi 2. Okay, the instantaneous power is nothing but P is equals to Vm Im sin omega t plus pi 1 into sin omega t plus pi 2. Okay. So whatever the value of angle theta, whatever the value of angle, that is power factor angle or any angle, okay, the instantaneous power does not change. Instantaneous power does not change. Instantaneous power is always constant. Instantaneous power is always constant. So the answer is 2 kilowatts. 2 kilowatts. Eighth question. A balanced 3-phase delta connected load is supplied by a balanced 3-phase 400 volts supply. Okay, so the supply voltage is 400 volts. The phase current I phase is equals to 10 ampere and 0.8 power factor. 0.8 power factor. The total reactive power observed by. Okay, the reactive power formula is Q reactive for 3-phase 3 into V phase I phase sin pi. Okay, so we have a cos pi, that is cos pi is equals to 0.8. If cos pi is equals to 0.8, then sin pi is equals to 0.6. Directly remember this one. Okay, if cos pi is equals to 0.8, then sin pi is equals to 0.6. Now, so 3 into here the phase value is equals to line value, so this is 400 into I phase current is equals to 10 ampere into sin pi value is equals to 0.6. So 3 4s are 1200 into 10, it will give 12,000 into 6 by 10, 0 will get cancelled, 12 into 6, that is 72. I can write this one 7.2 kilowatts, 7.2 kV AR. The units of reactive power is kVARs. Sorry, ninth question. The Thevenin's equivalent of circuit shown in the figure. Okay, we need to calculate Thevenin's equivalent for this one. We know one thing, that is the Thevenin's equivalent is a equivalent voltage, that is V Thevenin's, and equivalent resistance, that is R Thevenin's. Both should be connected in series. So we need to calculate the voltage across this open circuit. That is nothing but the voltage across this point. Okay, how we can able to calculate voltage across this point? That is, apply KVL in this circuit. So I minus 12 plus 6I plus 6I is equals to 0. I is equals to 12 by 12, that is 1 ampere. Now the voltage across this resistor, the voltage across this resistor is 1 into 6, that is 6 volts. So the Thevenin's voltage is 6 volts. Okay, now we need to calculate R equivalent. How we can able to calculate R equivalent? We need to suppress the load, we need to suppress the sources. Okay, so if it is voltage source, then we need to short circuit it. If we have current source, we need to open circuit that one. Okay, okay, we have a voltage source, then short circuit this one. R equivalent seen from the load, R equivalent seen from the load. We have a 6 ohm resistor in parallel with 6 ohm resistor, 6 and 6 parallel. So 6 into 6 divided by 6 plus 6, that is 36 divided by 12, it will give 3. So the voltage is 6 volts and the resistance is 3 ohm. 6 volts in series with 3 ohm. 10th question is, the combined inductance of two coils connected in series 0.6 or 0.1, depending upon the relative directions of the current. If it is mutually aiding, we'll have high inductance. If it is mutually subtracting, then we have a less inductance. So when resistors are connected in series, so L equivalent is equals to L1 plus L2. If we have only two inductors and that too there is no mutual inductance. Okay na? Yes. Now if we have mutual inductance, that is L1 plus L2 plus or minus 2M, plus for mutually aiding, minus for mutually subtracting. Okay na? Mutually subtracting. Now so L mutually additive, it will give 0.6, that is nothing but L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Next L subtractive, that is 0.1, which is equals to L1 plus L2 minus 2M, minus 2M. Okay, if I add these two, I will get L1 plus L2, but we don't want L1 and L2, we need to calculate mutual inductance. Okay, so 0.6 minus 0.1, which is equals to L1 plus L2 plus 2M minus L1 plus L2 minus 2M. So L1 L2 will get cancelled. I'll write here L1 plus L2 plus 2M minus L1 plus L2 minus 2M. L1 L2 get cancelled. 2M minus of minus 2M, it will give 4M. 4M is equals to 0.5. M is equals to 0.5 divided by 4, it will give 0.125. So which option is correct? Option 4 is correct. So this is the first video. So if you want to know more information regarding AE examination, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is My Dreams Academy, and we have lot of videos regarding AE in our app, that is My Dreams Academy app. Go to Google Play Store, there you can download My Dreams Academy app. Thank you all.